What's up, y'all? Sean here. I go by Taylor Exchange on YouTube, and today we're on the move. I have a few things I need to take care of today. First, I need to go to the post office and drop off my packages. I think I had 17 orders, and it was only about $366, which is pretty low, but that's for a weekday, and that's kind of what I average. I sell a little more on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but weekdays, 360 is about right. In addition to dropping off those packages, I have some new boxes. I'm going to change my inventory system to the same that Chris at Daily Refinements has because he can store a lot of items in his inventory that way. Currently, I have big boxes, and the big boxes, the items kind of fall down in them, and then I can initially put 25 to 30 items per box, but after a little while, I pull items to sell, and then those boxes are kind of half empty or even completely empty before I have to restock them. And I've just been going from the last box all the way to the first and restocking them, and each time I have to write down what number labeled item is in that box and then fill out the ones that aren't there. This way that he was showing on his channel, it shows that you just front the items in numeric order and you just continue moving the boxes around, which is a bit of a hassle, but I honestly think it's going to maximize the storage for my garage, and I'm trying to get the most items in my store without having to get an external storage unit because I don't want to have to pay the cost of that. But speaking of cost, I've been using the Husky racks from Home Depot. They're like the medium-sized racks. You can get 3 different sizes. Those racks have gone up in price, most likely because of the shipping issue in the country or just the inflation. But I used to buy those racks for as low as $179.99 was the cheapest I ever bought them. And then the next time I think they were $199, and then they went up to $219.99, and I hadn't bought one since then. They are currently at Home Depot for $349.99. And it's the same exact rack. Like, it's kind of like, it hurts because I was at the point where my garage could only fit one more storage rack. Let me just show you guys what I'm talking about. Okay, so these are the storage racks for my business. I think I've shown you guys this on my channel before, but this is most up to date. These are the Husky racks. They're really good racks. I mean, they're tremendous, and I probably wouldn't ever get rid of them. And if I ever did, I think I could sell them for pretty good money, at least $100 a pop. But yeah, I have room for one more storage rack that I put right here. I made room for right here. It's gonna go this way. And that's probably it because I really like having the gym. I've got all my weights and my bench and the power rack, the row machine over here. But the issue I'm having is the storage. Right now, if you look at box 156, it's got a number of items here, and they're kind of all over the place. I use these priority mail stickers to label them, and most of them go priority. Some of them don't, but I think I've paid over $30,000 in shipping labels, so getting a few rolls of stickers. It's not going to be the final one that I use. Like, I'm definitely going to get away from that. I'm going to get pre-printed labels from probably Avery.com or some way to just print them on sticky labels and change up the numbering system because currently I have to handwrite all of them, and that takes a lot of time. But anyway, yeah, so what I'm getting at is right now these boxes are like half full, and then if I were to fill up this box with new items, I have to go in, count all the numbers that I used, 156.1, 156.8, 156.16, and then I have to fill in around that up to 25 or 30 items depending on what size they are. And it's killing me. So what I plan on doing is putting the new $350 rack right here. I'm going to put the new boxes, which each rack will hold 50 boxes. They're smaller. They're 8 by 8 by 30 inches long. However, if you get an additional shelf for the rack, you can fit a total of 6 rows, and you can have, I think it's 7 on each row. I haven't really figured that out, but it's 50, 48. Yeah, so it's 48 per rack, so it'd be 6, 8. It's going to be 8 boxes per row, and then each one of those 8 boxes can hold between 15 and 25. Well, if you did all shirts, you could probably fit 30 in those boxes because they kind of like squeeze together real tight, and that's the whole point. I'm going to be able to get more items per shelving rack. Now I got to go buy I I gotta go spend like extra money, which it stinks. I mean, we're getting close to like tax time and everything, and I've paid all my estimated taxes, which was a lot, but I was hoping all the expenses were over, but I guess with the business, they never really end. They just increase. So. So aside from the money I'm about to spend today, the business has been going pretty well. You know, it's kind of dealing with the mundane task and then being alone while doing those tasks. That's kind of why I want to get back into YouTube. And I mean, I see it being pretty lucrative. You know, I made pretty good money this year, but I plan to make like hopefully double that next year. We'll see. I definitely know that I'm getting better at sourcing, so I can show you guys here. So that is 156 items that I sourced yesterday. Now it took all day to source those items. I got to the thrift stores about 9, and the last one I left at about 7:30. And it's a chore. It's a chore to get all those items, and I have to commute to those items. But you know, it's what needs to be done. I can definitely find some items in town, but I'm trying to focus on just clothing items, and the better clothing items are out of town. I can just find more of them, so. Alright guys, that was crazy. I did get the rack. Check it out. I went with black, and I'll tell you what happened. So, in the store, they had the black shelving racks. These are the 77 by 24 by 78 inch racks, and there was an end cap that had some black ones on it, and it said was $349, and it says now $299. And I was like, okay, great. Well, then I looked down the aisle where the other shelvings are of the same size. There's a red one where the box, it had a big tear right here and a bunch of marring on some of the beams. So my plan was to get that one and then take it up front and then get a discount off of the damaged box. Because if you ever go to Home Depot or Lowe's or even Walmart, if an item is damaged and maybe the inside's fine but the outside's damaged, or even if the inside is a little damaged, you can get a discount if you just talk with their managers and whatnot. So Joy, the worker that I was working with, whenever I brought the red one up that was damaged, she said it's ringing up $349. And I said, well, there was other ones that were ringing up that were marked $299 on the end cap. She goes, well, can you take a photo of those? Well, I took a photo of it, and I decided to bring the black one up. And then we're sitting there, and she's saying, well, this is the black one and that's the red one, and the item number doesn't match. This number right here did not match the red one. So what she was gonna be able to do was mark $50 off of the red one, but she could only do that off of the $349 price. And I was like, well, I'm just gonna get the black one at $299. So whenever I decided upon that, she said, well, I'm gonna give you 10% off of the $299 because this one is damaged. And I was up there for like 20 minutes. Like, you know, she was trying to talk to her management, trying to explain to them the situation, and they weren't really willing to go for it. I left the red one that's all damaged. No one's probably gonna buy it. I mean, it looks really bad. It is marred on the beams and stuff, and then it's likely that the beams are warped. Some of these shelvings, the beams will warp when you get them, and it's best to just take them back or hammer it into place. And you know, if they're gonna stay in the same place for a long time, I'm okay kind of just working it, because it's a chore to carry it. I mean, it's really heavy. If you guys want to see the real struggle of these shelving racks, just watch. Okay, so I have to like lift it up with my shoulder and then close the tailgate, because my bed, I didn't get the long bed. I got the short bed for this truck because that's what was available. So we're gonna lift it down. All right, that's it. So not too bad. Really wasn't that bad, but like just getting it into the bed was a bit of a chore. So I'm gonna go home, assemble it, and I'm gonna show you guys when it's all done. All right guys, there you have it. The shelf is in place. I added an additional shelf as opposed to my original storage. As you can see here, I took the shelving unit off of that top one. So now what I have is, if you count the bottom as a shelf, which it is, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 shelves. there's going to be 8 boxes per shelf. And I actually thought I messed up and bought the wrong size boxes because there's a space right here. But I think whenever the items get in the box, it's going to spread them out just a little bit, and then they'll all be pretty tight like that, because the boxes do spread out a little bit. Like I said, I'm copying Chris at Daily Refinements. I've been copying his model since I switched to clothing because he's the best person I've seen at clothing, and he's following Tech, who is the best person, I guess, at clothing. And, you know, I'm not trying to reinvent the wheel. I'm just trying to ride the wave, so to speak, and just got a cha-ching there. Yeah, you know, right now it looks like maybe $300 a day in sales, and then I profit like 40% of that, so it's definitely not great money, but it is better than working for somebody, which I do enjoy working for myself. It's a little scary at first, and dropping, you know, $300 on this, and it's another $140 just for the boxes, and I still have, you know, the rest of these boxes to open and tape, and then I have another stack that's still bound up. One thing I wanted to point out about taping these boxes is, if you look at the box here, this is the seam where the fold is to like close it off. This is the seam, and right here there is no seam. So my plan is to have that being the one where I pull from, because over time, when you're pulling on these boxes, it starts stretching here, and I haven't noticed any like damage on my big boxes by doing that, but I make sure to pull them with 2 hands, one on each side. With this one, it'll just be one hand, and the other hand will grab the item. So I make sure to have those here, and I'm going to use some reinforcement tape, just 2 bands on the top. It's taking longer to put together, but once it's put together, you're not going to have to mess with it anymore. So this item, or this storage system, hopefully will be able to get me. Chris says 1,000 items per rack, but I do a lot more jeans than him, and jeans are bigger, so I'll probably get closer to like 800, I would think. And yeah, that's pretty great, because right now I only do 25 to pretty much 25 per box on my old storage system, and it's 25 boxes, so 25 times 25 is, you know, it's not as much as 800. I don't think, but yeah, it's less. So this new storage system is going to be awesome, you know. I hope you guys got some tips. These are the 30 by 8 by 8 boxes, and these are the Husky racks from Home Depot. And like I said before, you know, I just talk with them. I'm really nice with people. I used to work retail, and I know how bad some of those jobs can be. So if you're really nice with the employee, they'll bend over backwards to help you out. I made sure to do that, and I also left the I filled out the survey on the receipt, and I told her, I made sure to tell her that I was going to do that. So I went ahead and did that for her, and yeah, I got a little bit of a discount. So it ended up being about $300 after taxes, and you know, I couldn't be happier. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'm going to be trying to put out at least a video a week to yeah, to have a little fun with this YouTube stuff. So so long, guys. See you.